Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala syarafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, today we are going to do a case study about how we're going to develop our coaching capability for our client or our coachee, how they can express their free will and their way forward. What I've explained to you in the previous 2-3 videos, those are structural, practical concepts that you as a life coach must have. That means these are basic qualities of a life coach. So it will seem to be quite theoretical, but how are we going to do it practically? So I'm giving you a case study today. Say we take a person, all right? So call him Johari or Joe. He's a 20 years old young man, all right? And he is desperate now, okay? He was just terminated from the university, and his background was he came from a very good Muslim family. That means the parents were practicing Muslims, they were all quite well-to-do, and he was doing very well in school until he reached pre-university, and then he has a group of friends, and their friends introduced him to partying, and you know, in party they have introduced him to ecstasy. Alright, so this synthetic drug to boost their, you know, they can stay all night partying, drinking and doing all kind of things. So he got introduced to this drug, and then he used it for his exams, and he found that early on when he used for his pre-university exams, he was doing very well. But then he has to take more and more of this ecstasy pill every day, and his behavior is becoming very erratic, and he could not concentrate in his studies anymore. And then he was all the time thinking about this pill, and his friends couldn't bother to help him because initially they gave him free, and the drug dealer gave him free. Now he has to pay for the drug, and all his money is going towards paying for his drug habits. And his parents already noticed his erratic, very aggressive behavior. So the parents has brought him to you at the mosque or the Islamic Community Center, and you as a coachee, how are you going to handle this case? Alright, so I've given you the background to this situation, so you must understand that he has expressed his free will in a way that is quite incongruent, in the sense that he wants to complete his university, but now he got stuck. That means he has not done well in his second year of the university, and now he is terminated. So what has happened to him is that, first, if you are going to help him, you have to apply in terms of the practical ideas of the sense of purpose and meaning in life. So in some small gentle manner, bring in this idea of Islamic value system in terms of, you know, remember I have given you a lot of the videos. You go to all my previous videos on Islamic motivation as well as Islamic coaching, where we talk about having some purpose in life in some small way. Because if he's brought up as a good Muslim, he knows he most probably has been praying 5 times a day before, and now he's not praying, and because of the influence of his peer group pressure. So you are supposed to bring him first a sense of purpose and meaning in life, which he knows. Alright, only thing now he is confused. And the problem is that the demon of the drug is so powerful that he cannot concentrate, and he's getting violent. And because he's violent, he again, the whole vicious cycle of thinking about the drug, being violent, trying to get the money, thinking about the drug. So he is in the downward spiral towards destroying his own life. So you can give him some sense of purpose of meaning of the beauty of living a life of a Muslim in some small measure. Don't go attack and say, oh, what you're doing is haram, you're going to kill yourself and destroy yourself, even though you know that will be the final outcome of this drug. But because he's already completely addicted, there is no way you can, through talk therapy, just remove his addiction. Alright, so first is to give him some idea of the sense of purpose and meaning in life. Recollect his joyful days when before he was a drug addict at 16 years old, 17 years old, where he had better friends who did not bring them bring him to party, and then later on get him hooked on this ecstasy pill. So he will then reflect back again. So it's a matter of ask him to do some muhasabah in some small measure. All right. So let him reflect about that, and then you as a coach help your coachee to realize that this is something that all of us together, himself, his parents, you as a coach, and also most probably counselor, drug counseling, or you have the anti-drug agency counselors who are there available. In many places they are available. All right, then he can have additional help from these people, and most of these organizations they're free. So even their counselors are free. All right, there's free service only if you are willing to go in, and then they even have detox program. All right, if you are willing to go. So once you have given him some idea, the next thing is giving him some idea of the fulfilling his responsibilities in life. That means you can bring him the idea of his future success in life. That means once he can get rid of this demon, these pills, this addiction, you show him a beautiful future where he can start his education again, and later on maybe begin on his journey, spiritual journey towards Iman, Islam and Ihsan in some small measure, having a new set of friends who can then guide him towards the practice of Islam, and later on with the help of the family members and everybody, send him for a detox program. All right, and then if he's agreeable to that, this process may take, what I'm saying to you is just only 5 minutes, but this whole process of nurturing and nudging him may take about 2 months or 3 months. He may resist because at the first instant he believes that he can live with the drugs. That means even though he knows that the drug is addictive and killing him, because the drugs have been so used to him, because addiction is already a change of the brain, the whole neural network has been changed. So you cannot push to the extent that like cold turkey you can solve, cannot. So he will believe that it's okay, I'm just taking the drug. He will say, I'm not taking the drug every day, but actually he's taking it every day, maybe more than that. So this incongruent behavior, this denial will come in first. Then you have to bring him over the denial phase to acceptance. So first denial, then acceptance. It's only when he is willing to have the acceptance, then you can go on to give him the meaning, the fulfilling responsibility, and then talking about congruency. These 3 steps, very simple steps. And then, inshallah, send him to a professional detox program. Maybe for this one, because you got to go for 1 week, where they can give them some sort of coaching, mentoring, counseling, and then detox in a detox center. Even if it is for a week or 2, and where the parents will have to pay for it, and if he's willing to go, that shows that he has already realized his difficulties with the drug. He already realized, okay, this is the time that I have to make a decision. Sometimes you can bring him to give him the sense of purpose. He will say yes, fooling the response, he will say yes, but because of the incongruency between the belief and the behavior, he will ramble along. All right, so he may ramble along another 1 year or 2 years. Wallahu alam. I have seen many cases in this kind of situation where they wanted to get out of the drug addiction and they cry, but because the pull of the drug is so strong, they cannot get out of it. And that poor child, all right, now is already coming to 35 years old, the whole life destroyed. A brilliant child whose life was destroyed by these drugs. All right, with erratic behavior, they could not find a suitable job. Even though he has a diploma, he is always being fired, because once the boss knows that he's on drug, and because sometimes he come to work, sometimes he don't come to work, and then sometimes he get very aggressive to the co-workers, he was fired. So many jobs after being fired, he is desperate. So at 35, it is already very, very difficult. At 20, when you just have 2 years of addiction, there's a lot of hope. Your brain structure has not been changed that much. All right, the whole neural network in terms of your brain, there is a possibility of cleansing yourself through detox program. All right, so at that level, it is beyond you as a coachee, because then you must have specialization in terms of drug detox. And normally you have to send to the drugs rehabilitation centers, whether it's government run or private run. If private run, then the parents will have to foot in the bill. But it is very important for us to take this action in terms of nudging them through gentle, tender kindness. Remember, don't blame him for that. It is just that it is already done. He is already a drug addict, a hardcore drug addict. You cannot say, you know, why you so stupid? You know what I mean? That is not going to work. All right? It is how through love, through gentleness, through giving him a scenario of the future, for sense of purpose in life, and how he can fulfill his responsibility, that he can get out of the drug, and then giving him the congruency and the belief in which he can then start practicing. And then once he goes to the drug rehab, inshallah, then when he comes out, you must closely as a coach become his mentor, because now it's no more a coach relationship. You have to be his mentor. You got to mentor him, especially if you are a professional much older than him. All right, there is an age barrier, maybe about 10 years or so. It's not too old. You are not too old or not too young, so that he can see you as a respectable figure in which he can aspire to follow your footsteps, and then you nudge him along gently, and then happily he would then be able to get out of this drug addiction, and that will destroy his life. As I say, I have seen cases in which there's no hope. In many cases, when they go through this drug addiction center, out of 10, 7 are repeat drug addicts. That means they start their habit at the age of 18, up to 40 to 50 years old, they're still on the drug. Life completely destroyed. Very sad. But this is the dunya of today. All right, this is the world today. Not only that you have drug addiction, you have alcohol addiction, you got pornographic addiction, you got video addiction, internet addiction, shopping addiction, TV addiction, all addictions of every kind, which prey on the weakness of humanity, just because of the motivation of greed and profit, especially this drug trade and this alcohol trade and all these things that is destroying hundreds of millions of families throughout the world. So this is the case of Joe Johari, in which I hope you have some framework in terms how to deal with it as a coach, and help many more millions of young Muslims who are facing similar problems, which have their variant, and you help the Ummah so that we can then strive to achieve collectively our goal as being the Khalifah of Allah, the Vicegerent of God on this earth, always striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, and making the world good, inshallah.